Actually, miss Cube. I always lag from this side because I've got a really wide.
Okay, welcome to week 3 of the VPPL finals. This is Paul Pike here with Chris Cooper. G'day, Chris.
Paul.
How are you, mate?
Good evening, mate. Interesting night. A couple of really going to be some tight matches all night.
Yeah, we've got some great matchups here. We've got the main event, probably Marc Robertson playing Scerri. And the other qualifying final will be Steve Jamieson versus Jamie Stevens. And then we've got a couple of minor finals in the background, which we won't have the cameras on, but we'll give you updates on it.
Yeah, elimination finals, the other two. So pressure's on for Travis Martin, Gavin Roberts, Butterworth and Paul Kaiser. And obviously the winners of those going to play the losers of Steve Jamieson and Jamie Stevens and Robbo and Scerri. Try and keep up to date with everything that's going on. But yeah, definitely focusing more on the Robbo and Scerri and obviously Jamo and Jamie Stevens as well. I think you're going to see something different with the Robbo and Scerri match tonight, because I think Marc, for those that don't know, Marc, his shoulder's progressively getting a lot. He hurt his shoulder. I think it was when they were over at the World Titles. Hurt his shoulder, and I had him over on the weekend and really struggling with the break. So I think you're going to see him break quite differently. See a couple of different styles from him tonight than what you're normally used to. But we're underway with the Jamie Stevens-Steve Jamieson match.
Nice break off there, potted a red, all very open.
She hasn't made that easy, the first shot.
Overran it a little bit. Just got the blind cut back into the corner still.
Yeah, could even screw it into the red that's right next to the black if you can hit that fat. No, he's going through, he's running through.
Played that well. Held for the middle one. Depending on the angle, he might be able to screw back here. Yeah.
As if that.
A little bit tricky. Can't really hold for the middle red here.
It's going to end up with a bit of angle on this.
Just drop it in.
Oh, he's playing the top ball.
Yeah, it was too hard to hold for the middle one.
This would be a good start from Steve.
He's changed his game up a lot from when he first started playing 8-ball. He's a lot more attacking now than he used to be. A lot quicker pace too. He plays much quicker than he used to at the start. Very nice out.
Good start from Steve.
Over to Robbo Scerri. What a match this is going to be. Two great mates know each other's games inside out. It's a lot of ego on the line here between the two of them.
The banter had certainly started well before they got here tonight.
I don't think the money makes a difference to them. It's all about the title, the title of who beat who tonight.
They were talking about, though, that this is actually the first race to 11 that they've ever played on CueballTV. Obviously, they've played a lot of smaller races, your race to 5s, and
yeah,
and so in the Victorian titles and things like that. But so it'd be interesting. There's been a lot of talk all over social media all week. both of them having a few drinks on Saturday and well and truly getting into each other there. So it's good to see Marc's dressed up for the occasion, and he's got the t-shirt out of the washing basket. Scerri's gone the full outfit tonight with the vest. It's nice to see the vest out and about.
I have talked to Scerri before, and he said he likes to play dressed up because he feels better in himself.
Yeah, he does. He's said that to me as well. And I actually don't mind it. I don't mind the vest. I'm putting it out there.
So we've got a bit of a tight frame here.
Yeah. Didn't actually catch who broke in this frame. He was talking Scerri on Saturday about how important it's going to be for him to really hold serve on a lot of his breaks, and potentially where he thinks the match could be won and lost is based almost directly on that. If he manages to do that, the midway point through the match would be almost the most anyone's got off Marc the entire season. I think the most at the moment is about 6 frames. Obviously Marc hasn't lost a match this year.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see as the match progresses, if it is a tight, close battle, how they both handle it in the later stages of the match.
Definitely. Left him a slight opportunity here, Marc, but I think Marc likes to do that. I think Marc likes to give players...
He certainly does.
...a little bit of a sniff, and a lot of the time, the sniff that he gives them is that difficult that he relies on in not making the difficult ball, and therefore Marc gets back to the table with 5 or 6 yellows or reds, whatever he's on. But I think these two have been playing together for long enough that Scerri's going to be all over that.
I'd get a little nudge on the black. No, didn't have the angle.
He certainly looks like he's having a dip from here. I think he's putting himself in a position where he sort of has to. But that's really all he needs from this position, is that slight nudge on the black.
He wanted the angle there, but he didn't get it. So.
Marc
my goodness.
Spilt his milkshake.
Unbelievable. Can't take him anywhere.
That's the sort of mind games that are happening already. Scerri's going to pot out, and he's gone and tipped his milk over.
I tell you what, it could be a promotional ploy. Is that a Tasty Trucks milkshake? Or?
So we've swapped back over to the Jamie Stevens, Steve Jamieson match here. Jamo's on the yellows. Sort of looked at that like he didn't want that to drop at all. Haven't seen a lot of this frame.
Alright, Scerri's back at the table too. Still on his pot out.
He might have the angle here. Oh, he's
already nudged it.
He's already nudged it. I missed that.
Yeah, well. So, Nice positional shot here. Should, I think he'll try and land on a long. Yep, that's it. It's pretty much just a stun. Black goes back into the bottom left.
Yep. I think this is really important for Mick, these sort of frames, especially this first frame. That's a nice shot.
Yeah. Well controlled.
And I've got a feeling that first break was Marc's, which makes that out even more important. If he can get to the table now, if it is his break. And
They're having a laugh about the milkshake still. So back to Jamie, Stephen, and Jamie, Jamie, Stephen, Stevie, Jamie. Which one? The old role reversal. Could be the tortoise and the hare this match, I think. Whether Jamie can close him out enough. Yeah, we'll just switch back. Scerri with the break.
yeah, as I thought, he's done the right.
Oh, costly too. The reds are everywhere.
Marc will be loving that because he
Reds
didn't
are
have to break.
everywhere. Yellows aren't too bad either, but I think he'll take reds. Hardest ball's probably the black, really.
Yeah.
And plenty of options to get on that. Don't you worry about that. He's testing the shoulder out early.
Yeah,
He's underscrewed that. Underscrewed that by a mile.
yeah, it was certainly an interesting conversation. It was a conversation that got to the point where both Mick and I were asking him he really needs to go and have it scanned because he's complaining about it a lot. And it's not only when he's playing pool, it's everything else that's going on. Any sort of movements with his shoulder. Now talking about his right shoulder. I think he said that he came back. It was from a break when he was over in the UK for the World Titles, and he reckons he did it off one of the breaks.
Yeah.
Trying to go too hard, and he's actually damaged the rear of his shoulder. So, yeah, just don't know how much of a major factor it's going to be for the entire match. He's very, very conscious about it. But I'm not really sure what he was trying to do with that red. To be honest.
No, he underscrewed the first shot. It was a golden opportunity, and so he had to pull up the very next shot.
He's playing the cannon here, is he?
Yep, what a cracker. That was a perler. If he can drop this in the centre.
Yeah, they're all there. They're all there. And by moving that yellow too, it's made that black's just become a hell of a lot easier. Now it goes in that bottom right.
The danger too is the reds are all there.
Just played the other.
Can Robbo screw back onto the bad red now? If not, it does look pretty good from that angle. I think you'll find he'll
He's certainly coming back that way. And that's
it's a nice
gonna be
angle
good
too.
enough.
It's a pretty good angle. He's got some angle to come off the top cushion back out. Just a little bit of top right probably.
Spot on. So how far does he want to come here? So all the way up.
Well, he's got options
great
now.
shot.
He's
Great
got
shot.
3 options now.
But again, as you mentioned earlier, the black is now going to be probably the difficult ball for Marc. Especially, I thought he was eyeing off. I still think he will. I think he'll be eyeing off this ball that's closest to the black now.
No, if he takes this, then the one near the balk line, and gets an angle to just screw off the middle one in behind it. It's not.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Needs to leave a little bit angle here.
Oh, he's come too straight. That looks too straight to me. He might have to just screw back towards the middle pocket here. Oh no.
Oh no, he's played it. That's beautiful. He obviously had a lot more angle than we thought. It's not the easiest of shots, but for Marc, I think he's cueing. This is where he relies really heavily on his just immaculate cueing. Ooh, and that just went in off the jaws. But
very nice. Yeah, I think that was the best angle he had, just screw across near the middle and gave himself a shot on the black, you know.
And this frame's still going. Second frame, Steve Jamieson, Jamie Stevens.
Jamie always in his element in these frames.
Jamie's on the reds.
Yep. I think...
so do you sneak this under with them?
Possibly can. He could also play it and kick the yellow out of the way a bit.
Try and leave that red where the second yellow is, or closer to the centre table.
If there's a gap behind the yellow, he could still play it off the yellow and go, but I don't think he will, knowing Jamie. Wow, he's tucked it right in. Did he have two?
He just got two, does he?
Yeah, he did have two. That's why he tried to pot it.
He might actually be considering potting this ball over the hole. Did see him looking at it for a while. He's decided against it. I think his issue here is getting out when he gets the second shot here. Oh, that's a good shot. It's a great shot.
It's forcing the issue. Most likely. Foul snooker.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, it was very strange, to be honest. This is where...
I thought that's really the last thing he wanted to do was...
This is where, in this battle, I think Jamie has a massive edge, unfortunately, to say, over Steve Jamieson.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamie's been playing this game since long before I was, and I've been playing over 2 decades, so Jamie's got so much experience. You know, Steve Jamieson's relatively new to pool and tactics of pool. He comes from the snooker background, you know what I mean? He's learning every day, but he's, you know, Jamie's just... If he can get into these kind of frames with Steve, I think he's a big favourite in the match. Hey. So still got 2 visits. Really, so long as he can pot this and get out into the open with 2 on the black, he should be all right. He can probably just nick it in thin and come up, I would think, but doesn't. You don't need to land on the black. You've got 2 shots. It's very risky. You know, with 2 shots there, I don't know whether that was so necessary, but...
Mark's on the yellows on the other table, your bottom right of the screen. Now centre of your screen. Just go back to that other shot, Dan. Does that yellow down the rail, if it doesn't go in the middle, it doesn't go in under that red.
I tell you what, these aren't pretty, these yellows.
No, you might see him drop this over the hole.
If he can screw back in between the two yellows on the balk cushion, he does have a chance to go.
Back.
If he can land pretty much dead flat,
Good call.
and his last ball's that drop in the middle, and he'll have a shot on the black, but, I mean, still tough. He really wanted to be pretty much dead straight on the back cush there, but...
He's going to be left with a bit of angle on this second shot if he keeps going.
Yeah,
Which he's going to have to. He can't not have a dip from here. I can't see anything else.
That shot there was pretty important to get flat between the two yellows, because now it's very hard to get from the second one to the third one. Okay, he's played the double. He's played for the double. Hard to tell if that yellow's on part of the jaw or whether it's on the flat.
Yeah, he's going to have to give it a bit of pace.
Yeah, he needs
he needs to straighten it up.
He's got to avoid the kiss, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's also he needs to screw off it to be on the top yellow as well. He can't really double it because he's running towards the red.
Judging off the other side of the pocket, it looks incredibly close to where the jaw actually starts curving in.
This is not ideal at all.
That's why he's
So
decided
bad.
Against it.
Yeah.
That red up on the bulk line, I'm fairly confident that I'll actually go inside that yellow.
He has left Scerri a little bit tight down the bottom here, though.
He has.
I don't think he's on the corner one.
No, it looks...
It's hard to tell.
I don't think he's on the corner to the left-hand side, and I think to the right-hand side is very, very thin. Maybe off the rail? No?
This is a bit... he might have left Marc an edge here, and he can run the yellow up, either hopefully drop it in, but or cover. That is, he has hit that really well.
That's an immaculate shot.
Now to get back
Called
on this,
it well.
To get back on this black, do you use two rails with a bit of right hand side, or do you screw back with reverse side? I think you'll use the two rails.
So he's hitting top right.
Two rails, yep.
He's going to land behind this for a minute.
He's got a cut on it, but he's got to cut it back into the middle. It's not an easy shot. He doesn't want to kiss off the back of the red and go in off the other red either. I think if he's digging into it a little bit, but I'm not sure that he needs to. He's played the double, that's why. That's why he was digging into it. So,
a massive opportunity for Scerri.
The bookies
will not miss these.
The bookie has just shut the book on this frame. Cannot get on.
Oh, he's giving that a bit though.
Wow.
He's giving that a lot more than he should have.
That's nice and close to your work. Not I. It's not the absolute. He wouldn't be
It's
ecstatic
not
because
perfect, but it's better than it was.
you know his last ball to get on the black. He would have much rather have one of those at corner ones to just.
Definitely.
So now he's got to just give this a little bit to get up on the black, which you know throws in a tiny percentage of doubt, but I would still think 90, 98 out of 100. Nah, maybe not that high, but getting a bit excited. We're talking about dual
shot.
Australian champion here.
Yeah, good shot. And 2-1, Michael Scerri. Now Steve Jamieson, James Stevens, 1-all.
Another battle frame. Jamie will be loving this. Absolutely loving it.
The other matches going on, the main draw. So the loser of Peter Butterworth, Paul Kaiser, who are 1-all, will play the loser of one of these quarterfinalists. They'll play the loser of Jamo and Jamie Stevens. And Gavin Roberts is 1-all with Travis Martin. The winner of that match will play the loser of Scerri and Robbo. So 1-all in the main draw. Also got non-qualifiers comp running as well. Terry Shields 3-1 up against Marty Andrews. Steve Thomas, Steve Halliday 1-all. Kevin Malik, Brad Hill 1-all. Dale Watson 2 up against Dion.
And that non...
Scerri can hear us too. Okay. Apparently Scerri can hear us, so it's going to quiet down a bit.
He could hear us commentating that picture perfect out he just did. So another dry break, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep. Robbo with the first chance off Scerri's break again this time. Might take the yellow inside the red into the middle, I think, if he goes yellows. And he's having a look at whether that yellow goes down the cush. So he's definitely thinking yellow.
You're talking about the yellow closest to ball line.
Yeah.
Inside the red in the middle.
Yeah, the one just below the white.
Steve Jamieson on the other tables just played the cannon, but he snookered himself behind his last yellow.
He can take reds here, but that one down the back cush is bothering him, and the one over on the top left doesn't really go anywhere either. It's
now looks like he's having a look at the reds.
Yeah. This is one of those situations that Marc probably doesn't like to go. You know, it's not. You know, you get them a lot of the time, but it's not a guaranteed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't get a good connection on that top red then.
You can tell.
Already the work's getting hard.
You can tell by his body language the way he got up off that shot that he wasn't happy about it straight away. Good cueing required for this into the middle.
That's a nice shot.
He's just run down to the centre of the table here, and he's left with almost a choice of 4 reds.
It's pretty much 100% pot here. You get this, you're pretty guaranteed to be on a red.
Yeah, exactly. That looked like they drifted out a little bit.
Yeah, they often do up that top end. It's a lot of tables have it's hard to get everything dead perfect. You often find if there's a place that a table rolls, it's usually up that balk end, up the top.
Right. Another small chance for Mick. It's hard to see anywhere on the table at the moment any sort of safety option.
This is where you might find a trademark Scerri knocks in the long yellow. But even then, to get through onto those other yellows, he's got a top right through.
As you can see,
He's slightly hampered on the queuing too.
he is certainly not on any of these reds down the black end. Sorry, yellows down the black end. I think he's got no option but to take this ball. That's made it even more difficult should he get back to the table.
I think one over the pocket will be Robbo's first ball if he's going.
And I think he will.
Yep. He'll be wanting to get that red in the middle top left, the one that's blocked by the yellow. Might want to try and either land behind it or knock it out here. I think he's got the angle to just cut this in the middle and nudge it.
So left middle into the red to push the red over to the other.
Yeah,
the bottom right.
Come off the cushion, hit the red from behind sort of shot. If he doesn't have the angle to do that, he might play to just land behind it.
No,
But
I think you're right. I think that's what he's playing for.
yeah.
Yep, exactly that. Well called.
And now he'll probably take that ball first, I would think. Since
I would think so as well. Good shot, and he's landed on
both, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has. I don't think he's happy again. He sort of.
Ideally, he would have liked to take this corner one first, but
Yeah, definitely the one he wanted to get rid of.
it's not too bad either way. But the problem with taking the middle one, you've got to pick the gap, screw back out to the middle of the table, and then you've got to get back out for the black, you know what I mean?
I'll jump up and...
Oof.
Snookered himself.
He has...
He had...
That's what you call a stunning shot.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of that. When I got up and had a look at the how much he had of the red, could certainly hit it, but it wouldn't have gone in. At best, could have got it to set over the pocket, but
Might be a little bit of Australian champion pressure there. You don't generally see Robbo snookering himself in those situations,
no.
but it's funny with these two. I think Marc is probably the more technically correct with his cueing, you know what I mean? Probably where I feel Scerri is probably mentally tougher than Michael. I mean, sorry, Robbo's mentally tougher than Michael. So, you know, it's a funny game, 8-ball. Like these two could play a lot of times and get different results, but you know, a massive part of 8-ball is in your head. I tell you, in this game. So
interesting to see what's going through. I just don't know how much pressure Marc actually feels from playing these matches. What are these matches like for these two that have probably played more frames against each other than anyone's really played any other player?
Well, that's right. They've practiced and trained together for the world titles, for, you know, lived together and played together for years. Pool, that is.
They're still knowing them well, they're still extremely determined to beat each other.
Oh, absolutely. Both fiercely competitive.
So probably the best opportunity Mick's had and is probably going to have in this frame now. And he'll try and eliminate that ball closest to the red as soon as he can.
He just has the one visit here, doesn't he?
He's only got the one visit, yeah.
He might run through and move this yellow now. It's a nice angle to do so.
He's got to make sure he gets the white out as well. Like that, got the white out. So just good queuing now. It's probably about the time that Marc needs to spill another milkshake, to be honest.
That's it.
Fine.
That's a lovely shot. He can just roll through this, I think.
And this entire season, from what I know, Mick gets these, he'll go 3-1 up, and this is the first time Marc's been this far behind in any match. For Mick to win, I think he needs to stay on that momentum run where he can put a couple on the board. And
That's where I say it'll be interesting to see how Robbo handles the situation, because, like you say, he hasn't been pushed in this league this season. They've been in separate groups, him and Scerri, so they haven't met until now.
yeah, some of the matches I've seen him play, there's a couple of 11-1, 11-2 defeats, and the opponents that he was playing, not that they played badly, I watched him play Terry Shields a couple of weeks ago, and Terry did nothing wrong. But the way Marc played was just immaculate. It didn't leave him any option ever in the entire match. Just be interesting to see how he thinks about this match, especially because it is his best mate playing out there. That how does it change his game style? How does it change his game style that they know how each other plays so well? There's a lot of factors to it. But
Jamo, you can tell, a little frustrated already. It's only 2-1. If Jamie gets a hold of him, I'll tell you what.
That's what we were saying about that match before, that those tighter frames, Jamie's going to love those, and it's going to frustrate Steve.
Yeah.
Steve loves the balls being open where he can pot, especially coming from his snooker background. That
Jamie's tactic will be pretty much leave him absolutely buried every time he comes to the table.
Yeah, you're right.
So Marc might try and move the red out of the way, I think, here. If he can run through and nudge the red or the yellow. He's done it, but he hasn't landed ideal. I think he's got the thin nick on the back cush now. Stretching over, he might have to even get the rest.
And that looks almost looks frozen on that rail too.
Yeah. The good thing is you're probably running to the one of the yellows to hold the white. And if it doesn't drop, it sits over, so... Yeah,
as you said.
So Scerri. Yeah, this is tough.
So what do you do here?
Well, I'll tell you what, if I was in the pub just having a bash, I'd take the double straight away. you know.
Oh,
And
you might. You might be right. He did.
you missed it.
He hit it too soft.
I'll tell you what, it was the winning shot. Like, you make that shot, you play it firm, you bang it in,
Yeah.
and you're on the other bad one on the back cush. All of a sudden, things start looking a lot better. But and that's the difference too when you see players when they're flying in a match. You know, they're 8-1 up or something. They start taking on things like that, and they're getting them.
Yeah.
And you think this bloke's playing amazing, but it's all confidence. You know what I mean? It's when you're, you know, under the pump at early stages in the match, it's hard to take things like that on. But
Definitely. I'm only going until someone gets to 5. Why is that? I'll go and watch it. You go and sit over there and have a chat to him. I'm only going until 5. You can jump on. Let's go to the next phase. I'll go till someone gets to 6 then. So Josh Boyle's here in the house trying to give me the boot, but
just Josh is pulling out 50s here to jump in the commentary seat.
yeah, they know you like.
Yeah. 50-cent pieces, that is.
Yeah, throw it
Ooh. So, sorry. Robbo wants to land on that that yellow over on the left-hand side off this ball if he can, I'd say.
Play like a soft drag with right-hand side. Off the rail.
Off the cush.
Certainly had a lot of right-hand side on it.
He's got it long anyway.
Difficult cueing though over that.
Oh, horrible. Hands up who loves a bridging shot. Not me. You don't see many people practicing these either, you know. Nobody likes these kind of shots.
You're absolutely right. But they're not enjoyable to practice.
But nobody
They're
gets
certainly
out
not
there.
enjoyable
Nobody
to
gets
play.
out there and practices them. So when you got to elevate that cue, bridging over the ball, it's any little bit of offside on the white, and especially on such a long shot.
He's going to cover.
Oh, he's a pocket coverer from way back. So,
I think Mick will be okay with this though. I don't think he was.
few options for Mick here. He can get an angle for the extraction, or he can play for the double. He could even play a drop-in snooker up the top. What are your thoughts, Chris?
Well, I think he's happy just to be back at the table at that stage because it was very easy if the shot that Marc played to come up a little bit hard. But you know, if he lands nicely on that yellow that he's dropped over the hole, then Mick doesn't get back to the table.
I think the way Scerri's feeling playing at the moment, he'll probably try and take these on. I don't think he'll be dropping the snooker in.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think that's what he's eyeing up.
I think he's looking for an angle to play that one into the top left and run through off the top cushion, kick it out.
If we go back to the other view for a sec, Dan, how much angle's he got now?
And it's pretty straight. It's not ideal.
Yeah, he's
I think it's too straight, really. It is definitely too straight.
He's certainly got a little bit of angle, but I think he's got to really force it.
So he could change to play for the double now.
Is he going to drop this in the middle and try and cut this red back over the...
Oh, try and cut this inside the yellow trick. Screw off the Mong Jackie. This will be a nice shot if he gets this. I think it's...
Do you screw off the first one, or you drop the cannon in and
The
then
problem-
play the second one and
The
come
problem
back up?
with dropping it in, you've got to get the angle to get back up there, you know what I mean? Like, see now he hasn't quite got the angle. So now he's got to come off two cushions to get up there. He might
think he's got to play this with a fair bit of left-hand side to get it back up there.
Yeah, he can do two things here. He can screw it with reverse side, not even use the bottom cush, or depending on how, if this is thin enough, he can clip it and come around past the yellow and get up on it.
It doesn't look comfortable.
No, it's
right in that awkward position.
And the other thing to this too, he's also got to get off that one in the middle of the back plate onto the side one on his next shot. So this is tough. I think he's got to nick this pretty thin to get round past the yellow. He's got to hit it quite thin. That's
a brilliant shot. He's just got to have a little bit of angle,
perfect.
which I think he's got.
That is huge. He's got a great angle there. You couldn't have picked it up and put it better.
Must move the yellow. Great shot. This is exactly what he needs to do. He needs to create this pressure on Marc. But then again, Marc's experienced enough to come back in these positions.
This is a moment, this black. You might see him knock this in with authority, the way Scerri does.
A bit of emotion here from him.
Bang.
Yeah. Good out. Really positive out.
You can see the difference there with the two players pulling the balls out of the pocket. Michael's pulled it out 3 or 4 balls out in the time Robbo's pulled one out.
Yeah.
Just the different, Robbo feeling deflated and Michael feeling pumped up.
I spent a bit of time with both of them on Saturday. Yeah. Michael was really excited about this match. Haven't seen him like this for a while. Needs something.
There's one thing that Michael loves, and that's a challenge. Give him any kind of challenge, he loves it.
It's probably a really good frame for Marc to be at the table and just try and steady himself a little bit.
So he's got first opportunity off Scerri's break again, I think.
It's a good enough, certainly a good enough break.
I think every breaker that Michael's had, he's come up dry.
I don't think he's. He dumped the wide in one of them. They probably spread as good as they are now, so. Yeah, it's a good opener.
See if Marc can hold himself together here.
Yeah, we'll just rotate around. I'll jump off for a while, go over there and sit. Yeah, no worries. Marc will certainly know the importance of this frame.
Yeah, this is a massive frame just for Marc in himself.
We got Mick's got the last 3. I think we were 1-1 and then Mick's got 3.
If Marc manages to screw this one up, I think it will hurt him psychologically. But if he gets it, he's going to start feeling, well, I'm still alive.
He's running through this one for the yellow bottom left. I thought he would have liked to come just a fraction further than that.
He'll probably come off.
So he's going to come off 2 rails, come off the bottom and then your right-hand side rail with a little bit of left-hand side. I actually think he'll try and go through the reds.
Yeah, I think the yellow goes into the balk cushion, balk pocket past the red.
Yeah, pick the gap, pick the gap.
Oh, yeah.
He's still okay.
I'm pretty sure it goes past the red. Yeah.
I just thought he wanted to go the other side of that red, go through the two reds.
Yeah, I think that was what he played for, but he's going to end up with a little bit of a tricky black, but not something that you want at 4-1 down. But
no, he's going to, yeah, you're right, he's going to end up sort of a...
Oh, he's
played
like that. That's what... He's played that quite confidently.
Half ball cut, that's what I expected him to land on, but...
No, that was good recovery.
Will not miss this.
4-2.
Must needed frame from Marc. Must. So it's good that he puts the pressure back.
Jamie Stevens in another battle frame with Jamo. Don't you love it?
But he will be loving it. He will be loving every minute of these frames.
I tell you what, anyone who wants to study the tactics of pool,
just watch Jamie.
Go back and watch this whole match and what Jamie does. I'm not saying that Jamie's tactics are flawless, but just shows you a different way to win frames of pool.
You see Marc's break there. That's what I was talking about with his shoulder. He's tried. There's a lot less power than you normally see. He was breaking before the match when he was having a bit of a warm-up, trying these a little bit softer breaks to try and keep his shoulder a bit together, and he was actually breaking really, really well. I think it even surprised him. So I'm fairly confident with the rule here. I know he can play away from the balls. Even if he was touching both yellows, he can actually play into one of them, even if it is touching that ball, because he's only required to play away from one.
You are correct. If it's touching both balls, all you have to do...
play directly into one.
All you have to do is play away from one of them. And it would be near on impossible for any umpire to ever foul you for playing into both of them. They'd really... Depending on the angle they were touching, but on a shot like that.
So these are the sort of frames that I like.
Which ones?
Marc playing.
Yep.
And he's on yellows. He's got one visit from here, but I think he can work his way around these bottom three yellows enough if he decided to have a dip. The problem is the reds are essentially all there as well. That's made it so much more difficult.
Yeah, that was a wild swing. Very wild. Clearly he didn't like the way the balls were there, but...
No, I didn't expect that from him, but...
You may find him just drop this bottom right corner over.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of either of them dropping a ball over the pocket yet.
No, I haven't seen much. There hasn't been a lot of covering, so...
Probably because they know each other's game so well too.
But I think you're right. I think that's exactly what I'll do. He came around and had a look at where he leaves the white. What's Mick going to be left with? And certainly... He's still... Must be still going then.
Well, if
that yellow, that's the higher of the two down the bottom end of your screen, if that passes through that gap into the bottom right, Go to the side shot on that table.
So we have a side view.
You've got the other camera angle, Dan, for on the Robbo match.
Yeah, it doesn't really help.
So that
looks like it does pass.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do. I think if that yellow goes through the gap, he can land high on that one, play it to your bottom right, which is your bottom left of screen at the moment, and then he can hold off the 2 reds that are right near it. Oh, that's run a lot further than he wanted to.
Yeah, that's
I
horrible.
think that might have been the plan, though.
That's horrible. He may have to... Oh, this is horrible. Play it really thin off the red and run through.
What about if he slightly screws off it and plays the high yellow off the red, which will straighten up the potting angle a little bit for him, so he can try and hold behind the other one like that. Play it off the red, bottom right.
Sure, it's tough.
It is extremely difficult, but otherwise his option is to drop it over, but I still don't think that's enough.
Looks like he's jacking up. He's trying to screw into the black, I think.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Oh, great shot.
This needs a bit of delicate, sort of soft screw around the reds. Needs to get deep into it, but not hit it hard. That's it. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Absolutely perfect.
It's going to completely change this entire match. Mick was 4-1 up. Now getting back to 4-3. And this is what you're in for. I think this will go on all night.
The good thing is you're talking about 2 class players. Neither of them are going to give up.
Joshie's still trying to get in. He's dying. We rocked up late.
Yeah, it's a fair call.
You rocked up late.
That's it.
I didn't think he was going to be here. I thought he was well. Otherwise, I was a couple of doing.
Jump off for a while, get it through over to Joshie, and I'll come back and chat to you all later.
And of course now we've got the great man Josh Boyle jumping into the commentary booth.
Hello, everyone out there in Facebook land.
You might need to take that off mute there, Josh.
Hello, everyone out there in Facebook. Dan, we just had the score go back to... We're starting again, are we? I'm here now, we can start.
Couple of people,
Is that what you're saying?
couple of people have texted me saying is the link's not working or something. Or... So, Tracy, is the live stream working? And someone else, there's the other one, messages. He said that link wasn't working.
Scerri just under-hit that. A little bit of a tense
Jojo
moment. He
put up.
wasn't sure if it was going to make it, but it did.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know, still
Is that
left
not
like
the
a
right
gap in there.
one? Is it just the live?
Same link.
Yeah, okay.
So Marc's just looking to see if this yellow on the top rail passes. Doesn't seem too keen on it. So it seems to me there's been a little bit of a momentum swing in the last couple of frames now. Yeah, Robbo just lays that in there nicely. Didn't have an option to go game. Can't tell from here if there's a gap behind that yellow. Doesn't look like it though. Mick probably considering the foul here.